Ever notice how the truly elite never seem rattled? While you're sweating under pressure, they're ice cold, calculated, almost mechanical. What if I told you that coldness isn't talent? It's a technique, an ancient rule that Navy SEALs, chess grandmasters, and billion-dollar negotiators have mastered: the distance rule. Emotion is precision's greatest enemy. And today, you're about to discover why the best in the world don't feel the game they decoded. Stick around to the end, because what's coming might completely transform how you make decisions. Let's dig in. Why Navy SEALs train to shut down emotion under fire. When bullets are flying, emotion kills. Literally, that's why Navy SEALs train for something most people never think about: emotional detachment under extreme stress. Not because they don't feel fear, they do, but because they've learned something critical. Fear clouds judgment, and clouded judgment gets you killed. Here's what most people don't understand about elite military operators. They don't rely on courage, they rely on protocols. When chaos erupts, they don't ask, "What should I feel?" They ask, "What's the next step in the protocol?" It's mechanical, systematic, and it works. Take the raid on Osama bin Laden's compound in 2011. SEAL Team 6 flew into Pakistan, crashed a helicopter, and still completed the mission flawlessly. How? Because when the helicopter went down, they didn't panic. They switched to contingency protocol. No hesitation, no emotion, just execution. That's the power of the distance rule. These operators train thousands of hours to create a gap between stimulus and response. Something happens. They don't react. They observe, process, and then respond with precision. It's not natural, it's trained. Now think about your life. How many times have you made a terrible decision because you were angry? How many opportunities did you blow because you panicked? Most people operate in constant emotional reactivity. Something triggers them, and they explode. Someone criticizes them, and they crumble. Someone offers a shortcut, and they grab it without thinking. The masters do the opposite. They build a wall between what happens and how they respond. It's not that they don't feel, they absolutely do, but they refuse to let feelings drive decisions. There's a filter between stimulus and action, and that filter is called mental discipline. You want a practical example? Think about a surgeon in the ER. Patient coding on the table, family screaming outside, blood everywhere. Does the elite surgeon freak out? No, she operates on protocol. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. The emotion is there, the pressure, the fear of losing a life, but it's quarantined. It doesn't touch the hands. This emotional distance isn't coldness, it's control. It's the difference between being moved by circumstances or moving circumstances in your favor. And you can learn this. But first, you need to accept an uncomfortable truth. Your emotions, no matter how intense, are not your friends when it's time to decide. They're fog. They distort reality. So if you want to perform at a master level, you need to start training this distance. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how chess grandmasters do this better than almost anyone. If you're starting to see why emotion sabotages you, drop the word protocol in the comments. And if this content is hitting, smash that like button and subscribe. What billion-dollar negotiators know that you don't? Let's talk about power. Real power. Not the loud, aggressive, chest-thumping kind. The quiet kind. The kind that makes billion-dollar deals happen with a whisper. And here's the secret. Elite negotiators never negotiate emotionally. Ever. They treat every deal like a chess match. Cold. Calculated. Precise. Think about this. You're sitting across from someone who wants to pay you less than you're worth. They push. They pressure. They use tactics designed to make you uncomfortable, to make you doubt yourself, to make you accept less. And what do most people do? They crack. They feel the discomfort, and they give in just to make it stop. But the master negotiator? Completely unfazed. Because they've trained something most people never develop: the ability to separate their emotional state from the negotiation itself. They might feel the pressure, they're human, but they don't act on it. They observe it, acknowledge it, and then shelve it. Let me give you a legendary example. In the 1980s, a young real estate developer named Donald Trump was negotiating for a piece of prime Manhattan property. The seller was aggressive, trying every intimidation tactic in the book. But Trump did something unexpected. He walked away multiple times. Why? Because he understood that whoever needs the deal less controls the deal. And by creating distance, both emotional and physical, he gained leverage. Eventually, he got the property on his terms. That's the distance rule in action. You don't win negotiations by caring more. You win by caring strategically, by controlling your emotional investment, by being willing to walk away when the terms aren't right. Most people can't do this because their ego gets involved, their fear gets involved, their desperation gets involved. Elite negotiators have no ego in the room. They have a goal, and they'll pursue it with ruthless patience. They'll wait. They'll let silence sit. They'll let the other side squirm while they remain perfectly calm. Because they know that discomfort creates mistakes, and mistakes create opportunities. Here's what you need to understand. Every high-stakes situation is a negotiation. Your career, your relationships, your personal boundaries, and in every single one, whoever stays calm wins. Always. Because calm is clarity. Calm is power. Calm is precision. So next time you're in a pressure situation, ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or responding strategically? Because there's a massive difference. One is weakness, the other is mastery. And you're about to see how this applies to something even more intense in the next part. If you're realizing how emotion has cost you, type negotiate in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're just getting started. How chess grandmasters predict the future while you're stuck in the present. Chess is mental warfare, pure and brutal, and grandmasters play a completely different game than amateurs. Not because they're smarter, they're not, but because they see what you don't. They see the board 5 moves ahead, 10 moves ahead, sometimes 20. While you're thinking about the present, they're already living in the future. Here's the difference. When an amateur plays chess, they react to threats. A piece is attacked, they panic and defend. An opportunity appears, they grab it without thinking. It's emotional chess, reactive chess, and reactive chess loses. Grandmasters play something entirely different. They don't see threats, they see patterns. They don't react to moves, they anticipate them. They've studied thousands of games, memorized thousands of positions, and trained their minds to recognize what's coming before it happens. It's not magic, it's distance. Emotional distance allows cognitive distance, and cognitive distance allows prediction. Take Garry Kasparov, one of the greatest chess players in history. When he played Deep Blue, IBM's supercomputer in 1997, everyone expected the machine to dominate, and in the first match, Kasparov won. How did a human beat a machine that could calculate millions of moves per second? By not playing the position, by playing the patterns, by staying emotionally detached and trusting his trained intuition over reactive fear. In Game 1, Deep Blue made a move that confused Kasparov. Most players would panic, thinking the computer saw something they didn't. But Kasparov stayed cold. He analyzed. He realized it was a bluff, and he exploited it. That's mastery. That's distance. You can apply this to your life right now. Every time you face a decision, you're playing chess. And most people play emotionally. Someone provokes them, they react. Someone offers a quick win, they take it. Someone threatens them, they panic. And 3 moves later, they realize they walked into a trap. Masters don't do that. They step back. They ask, what's the real game here? What happens 3 moves from now? What's the trap I'm not seeing? They create mental distance from the immediate pressure, and that distance gives them clarity. So here's your challenge. Next time you're under pressure, pause. Don't react. Step back mentally and ask, if I was watching this from the outside, what would I see that I'm missing right now? That's the distance that separates masters from amateurs. And now, you know how to build it. If this is making sense, drop chess in the comments. Like this video and subscribe. There's one more level you need to see. Se vak pudes manipular emu dos outros como os mesters fazem. Now, the final level. The thing most people never learn. Masters don't just control their own emotions. They weaponize the emotions of others. Because here's the ultimate truth. Whoever controls emotion, controls the outcome. Always. Think about hostage negotiators. They're in the most emotionally charged situations imaginable. Lives at stake, armed criminals, ticking clocks. And what do? They don't match the energy. They lower it. They create calm in chaos. They manipulate emotional state. Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator, tells a story about a bank robbery where the criminal was screaming, irrational, threatening to kill hostages. Everyone was panicking, and Voss did something counterintuitive. He lowered his voice, slowed his speech, used tactical empathy, repeating back what the criminal said without judgment. Within minutes, the criminal's voice dropped. His breathing slowed. He started thinking instead of reacting. Why? Because Voss controlled the emotional frame. That's mastery. You don't just avoid emotion. You shape it in others. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the temperature. You don't react to it. And to do this, you need to be ice cold, detached, observant. Because if you enter the emotional chaos, you lose control. And losing control means losing everything. This works in business, in relationships, in conflict. Whoever stays calm controls the frame. Whoever panics loses. It's that simple. And the crazy part, most people hand you this power willingly. They lose their cool, and you just have to stay steady. That's it. That's the advantage. So here's your mission. Next time you're in a high-pressure situation, remember, emotion is the enemy of precision. Breathe, create distance, see the game, and act from logic, not feeling. Because at the end of the day, masters aren't smarter than you. They just know one thing most people ignore. Whoever feels loses. Whoever analyzes wins. And now, you know it too. If this video shifted something in you, drop master in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your high-performance journey starts now. This content is for educational and motivational purposes. The techniques presented should be applied responsibly and ethically. Consult qualified professionals for specific mental health issues or situations requiring specialized guidance.